I'm sure he'd find a way. My brother always looks after me. Right! Right!
Counting on you. The snakes! Vipers. Murderer. I'll kill you! I'll fucking kill you!
Holy shit, this demo is fucking good.
You all know the target. Shiva's dominant. You don't get to die here, Wyvern. Move!
I am Joshua's shield. I'm sworn to protect him.
To arms.
Every day we delay brings us closer to disaster. We must move now.
Final Fantasy XVI is the latest mainline entry of its franchise, each game having its own standalone story, so don't worry about having to play the others to play this one. A large amount of development talent was brought into Square Enix's division CBU3 in order to create the best of its kind by today's standards, exclusive to the PlayStation 5. The lead staff on this team have a crazy portfolio of accomplished titles in the industry, and development of the game itself had the aid of the Kingdom Hearts team within Square Enix and Platinum Games Studios, makers of Nier Automata. For the most part, development and production has been reportedly smooth, and an extra year was spent polishing out the final product, and the game went gold months before release. You could say that all the stars have aligned for Square Enix to pull off what might be the most impactful mainline title in years. And is it? Holy shit. I can't believe this game's going to be released in less than 24 hours. After experiencing that demo, I can wholeheartedly say that they've created one of the greatest openings in all of gaming, satisfying the player and leaving them wanting for more. As someone who's been following the development of this game for 3 years, I'm absolutely hyped out of my mind right now that everyone's finally seeing what I and the 16 community have seen in this game since its very first trailer. Addicting combat, amazing writing, well thought out characters, fantastic voice acting, and a very interesting setting. I have a lot of things to say about the demo, so I'll split it up into two parts. The story demo, which involves the opening prologue of the game, and the combat demo, a challenge designed to allow players to experience the potential capability of the battle system. Now, with that being said, let's get right into the story demo.
Clive, look out!
2 hours! It took 2 hours to complete this part, and after seeing that thank you for playing screen, that shit got me fucked up, brother. The playable portion of the demo given to us features the prologue where we get to witness the events of Clive's youth when he was a young lad, and the tragedy that unfolds, eventually setting him on a quest for revenge. You can split this section of the game into 4 subsections chronologically. The introduction, which includes the hook and premise of our character, tutorials and exploration, where the player learns the basic mechanics of the game inside and outside of the combat, grounded combat to pit players against different enemy archetypes and promote creativity, and iconic combat to showcase the epic large-scale fights heavily involving the characters and stakes in hand, iconic being an extension of icon, which are those big monsters. By dividing up the prologue like this, you can actually see that this entire thing was really well thought out. As a game developer myself who loves designing introduction levels, what they crafted here was absolutely amazing. Everything in the prologue introduces the players into each important vital aspect of the game with vigor and hospitality, properly instilling the core of the experience going forward. Past interviews and showcases have emphasized their focus on this new action-oriented combat system and banger icon fights while telling a grand rollercoaster story with a great world to explore and see. So yeah, I love this shit. I like what they cooked up for the structure of this prologue, and by extension, this demo. Also, I'll be going through some major spoilers in the game, so be careful. This is your warning. Boom! Okay, now let's talk about the introduction. And by introduction, I mean, God damn, this opening is crazy. We start off with an epic battle between two beasts with explosive power fighting it out, and holy fuck, we go from a castle into an abyss and then an underground area? What the hell was going on? And then you're this big ass bird fighting this big ass monster, like, this shit straight out of Attack on Titan, on God. Finally, after one big punch, the game transitions us into a fireplace and then zooms out from the eye to reveal our main character, the GOAT, the one and only Clive Rosbeal. What a way to hook a player in. It immediately gives us a taste of the large-scale battles in this game, which will also be a common occurrence in the starting portion of the story, and that zoom out onto Clive, holy fuck, that was badass. Anyways, to give you the rundown, Clive is a part of a group of assassins given the mission to take down Shiva's Dominant amidst this crazy big battlefield. Who the hell is Shiva's Dominant? We don't know. We're also given a small look into the current state of affairs regarding the political relationships of the realm, a great way to inform us that this story isn't just about battles and war. There are going to be strong characters in power, each with their own motivations and agendas clashing against each other, which will affect Clive's journey in return. We then see both sides using their dominance against each other, the icon Shiva for the Ironblood and the icon Titan for the Dalmekians. I haven't really explained what dominants are, have I? TLDR, they are basically humans who can transform into those big monsters, and you already see the potential implications for their roles. They are like living nuclear bombs. I mean, look at this, man! The scale of destruction caused from their fight is so large, it destroys both armies effortlessly. Like, honestly, bro, I don't even know why y'all have to fight, just send your dominants out the throwing hands. Clive's gang keeps heading forward, but the chaos spread by the icon fight throws rocks and ice at them. Oh no. And Clive's brother-in-arms, BS, dies. Clive tries to join him, but his boss is like, nah, you don't get to die here, bruh. And that marks the end of the intro. A really excellent part of the prologue, welcoming the player into the tone and atmosphere this world presents, while hooking them in with exciting, intense cutscenes and tidbits of world building. We then flash back into the next part, which is the section for tutorials and exploration. Clive is 13 years younger, and we're able to experience his life, relationships, and struggles at a younger, innocent age. Lord Commander brother spars with us, initiating the combat tutorial, finally introducing players to the basic mechanics of the real-time battle system. Once finished, after some mommy issues, a Giga Chad dad entrance, and puppy love, we're then free to explore Clive's home, Rosalith. This segment really allows the player to immerse themselves into the world around them, running around the environment, picking up items, and most importantly, listening into conversations by NPCs talking about the current state of affairs or what they're doing. A great way to put in some explicit or implicit lore bits for the players to piece together. We run into this person with the same mark as well, the same mark that Clive had in the present, but we've come to realize that this guy is a slave working for his owner. An absolute surprise. You would think this badass team only had these tattoos because they were tough like that, you know? Like, who the fuck's gonna stop them? Like, look at this shit, it's so cool. But no. They are slaves who are seen as less than human and are able to wield magic. No one cares about their livelihoods, and it's been like that for many, many years. It's something ingrained in Valestian culture. A very interesting lore bit, and one I'm curious to see how it will be utilized in terms of story and interactivity within the full game. Also, how the fuck do I know all of this? Well, later on, we're introduced to active time lore, a feature allowing players to read descriptions on the subjects of relevance according to the current situation. This is a brilliant system, one that should be included in every game. I'm sure we've been in scenarios within games where we can't remember a certain character or name when mentioned, well now we can use active time lore to catch up immediately. One more important thing, Joshua, dominant of Phoenix and Clive's brother, a very important figure in our main character's life as he's tasked to protect him, but also, you know, he's his fucking brother. Anyways, our dad, Duke Elwyn, sends us on a mission to kill goblins and Stillwind while they head over up north towards Phoenix Gate to prep for the coming war. This leads us into our first proper combat section of the game. I really enjoyed this part. Combat for me was very responsive, and all of my attacks had proper weight behind them. Each of the enemies felt reactive to my attacks, the movement felt really smooth, and dodging attacks made you feel like an absolute badass. Huge props for this, like it's a legit fucking anime move. Combat director Ryota Suzuki did a really great job in making the base mechanics feel both satisfying to play with and accessible at the same time. With this serving as its foundation, a large potential for creativity is there for players to grab a hold of. Even with the limited amount of tools and resources available to the player at the start of the prologue, you can weave together combos like using magic bursts with your melee attacks or using phoenix shifts into your rising flames ability, or you can buy a skill that can possibly add onto or spice up those combos. I'll save the rest of my comments about combat later for the combat demo portion, but so let's talk level design now. At the beginning, there are several sections with mob enemies to ease players towards practicing their previously learned mechanics from the tutorial, slowly adjusting them into the moment-to-moment gameplay. After clearing those areas up, the first boss type enemy appears and players are now put into a situation where they must learn the mechanics of going against this kind of archetype. That means understanding stagger, parrying, and learning their attack patterns. It's also a good way for players to discover and test out efficient combos now that their enemy has a large health pool and you don't die after like 5 hits. Once we fold this boss, we're led into another boss battle, this time of larger scale. Another good test for players to put what they've learned from the first into good use. Here we see the first use of cinematic strikes and evasions. Badass! I am in love with these sequences. I'd initially thought they would be immersion breakers when watching gameplay previews, and I'm happy to say I was wrong. This is something better experienced firsthand rather than watching it, as I felt they enhanced the battle even better. It makes you feel even more engaged and involved and keeping you in the flow of the battle when the sticks are taken away from you for a bit. Boom, bim, bop, we fought the boss and our mission has been cleared. Clive and his gang leave for Phoenix Gate to join up with the rest of the army. We at the castle, everyone's hyping us up from that Morbo we slayed earlier, and Joshua's questions his dad on why the dominant of Phoenix is always born into their family, noting it isn't fair at all. His dad kinda dodges the question and says, we're blessed, like all we gotta do is use it for good, you know? Then joins the beautiful frat boy party going on in front of him. We get a scene with Joshua and Clive after, and with it comes new layers to both characters. characters. Clive is the firstborn failure, unable to wield the full power of the Phoenix, and had to take up the sword in order to cover his weakness. Joshua is the successful one, but lacks the confidence nor the strength to lead the kingdom and his people. These brothers are halves of one whole, and are the strength to each other's weaknesses. When the bro bonding is over, Joshua decides to catch some Z's. Right after, some dudes disguised as Rosarian soldiers pull up and ambush the guards at the gate, slinging their throats and invading the castle. Like, oh my god, yo. Joshua wakes up, so Wade comes to get him, and we get to play as Joshua for a bit. Pretty cool, although normally players don't like these parts of games, but it lasts surprisingly short, which is really perfect. Also, I like the detail of Joshua getting tired after every action he pulls off. Really emphasizes how ill and fragile he is. After some scuffles and learning that we've been betrayed by an ally kingdom, we link up with the gravely injured Sir Tyler. Joshua heals him, and Clive bursts through the side door while both the dad and Lord Commander practice their pull-up game. Joshua and Elwyn prepare to head back while Clive and Lord Commander Murdoch fend off the remaining forces in the castle. I won't say much in terms of combat for this section, other than holy fuck, it's a dragoon! God damn, this boss battle was nice. Bro was jumping all around and throwing out quick jabs when it spins with a spear. Like, God, it's so good. A really good final test of reflexes and mechanics for the grounded combat of this story demo. Once Clive and Murdoch finish fucking this guy up, they discover the Allied Kingdom's Sandbreck have already infiltrated their ranks. Connecting the dots, Clive realizes Joshua and his dad are in grave danger and heads back to save them, but not before seeing some random ass hooded guy who disappears right after.
You honorless snakes!
Stay back! I'm warning
Run,
you!
Joshua, run! No! Hey. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, that didn't end so well. And even more so with Joshua's transformation into the Phoenix. Uh-oh. Doesn't look like he's in control. Uh-oh. Clive's gonna try and save him while debris and flames are falling everywhere. Uh-oh. Our Chocobo gets hit in the fucking eye trying to save our reckless Clive.
Ah! Not now. What in the name of...
Wow, what the fuck was that? A second icon of fire? Is that Clive? What the hell was that silhouette? Did our Lord Commander really just die like that? God damn, this demo ain't afraid at all. And so it has come full circle. Back to the beginning of the demo, Joshua is somehow in control, and it's actually Ifrit who isn't. Again, is this fucking Clive? Holy shit, this entire battle between the two is amazing. The cinematics are on point, the music owns, and the stakes are higher than ever. We're introduced to our first iconic battle, and Joshua, the Phoenix, and my god, I can't wait for what the rest of the game has to offer for this type of combat, bro. It's so good. The underground area is breathtaking, and the camera work here is immaculate. You can definitely tell this shit is next gen when the surrounding area is getting destroyed from the chaos wrecked from the battle between those two giants who are traversing the environment and fighting as they go while Particle Flex flying all over. They're flying all over the place. Woo! And then
Murderer. I'll kill you! I'll fucking kill you!
damn. What an insane climax and emotional finale that was. Now that is how you end a demo, and leave players thirsty for the full game's release. And to add salt to the wound, Clive's mother was the one who betrayed us, leaving him to rot in the front lines of the Imperial Army for the Sandbreck Empire. Which comes full circle to his current situation in the front lines now. It's so well written, and to end it off here is perfection. Game design and marketing coming together to ruin our wallets. With that instant pre-order, like we need to know what happens after all that shit, man. Like, come on. One more important thing I really want to point out throughout this prologue was the music. 3 words: epic, beautiful, layered. All of those bombastic high moments of the game are accompanied with amazing music produced by Masayoshi Soken. I can't count how many banger tracks I heard during the game. Every piece, it perfectly encapsulates each scenario and environment the player experiences and significantly enhances the experience to an even greater degree. To say the man cooked hard is an understatement here. This man cooked an entire Michelin star restaurant franchise in this bitch. From listening to the music, you can already tell that Soken has utilized so many different instruments and sounds to create pieces that have a lot of secondary and tertiary support to aid the latter main chorus. Even some calmer, more relaxed pieces like Stillwind's main theme abide by this method. It's such a somber, bitter yet peaceful tune for an area that perfectly matches its tone and atmosphere. It made me appreciate the environment they built for this area much more. Upon entering battle, the overworld soundtrack will quickly transition into its combat equivalent and vice versa when exiting combat. Like, there's no moment of silence or cut in the background music. Both types of tracks are webbed together nicely, and I imagine it's going to be the same with the other tracks in the game. Now the iconic challenge, dubbed the Battle Demo. This entire portion serves as a nice dessert to the players who wanted more out of the battle system from the story demo, allowing them to experience the combat design's full potential. Here, the developers have included a well-crafted dungeon with the use of 3 icons and their abilities, along with our party member Torgal. We fight through the multiple areas of mobs, mini-bosses, and a full-on boss battle with 2 phases. They gave us a lot of room to work with, and I dig it. Using all those iconic abilities and figuring out stylish combos was the most fun I had in the demo, especially experiencing those boss fights as well. Their mechanics, attack patterns, and cutscenes made it an absolute blast to play against. I felt like a certified medieval badass through and through once I beat them. And of course, the music is a banger as well. With so many additions to combat, this is a masterpiece of a mode to add into the game demo. And that is it for my review / breakdown / gushing about the FF16 demo. For those who have made it to the end of the video, thank you for watching. I appreciate it and it really means a lot to me. I hope that through this video, you've gotten more excited about the release of the game and understand the hype riding behind it. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.